Hello. Is he here? Okay. Well,
Alrighty, everybody, it is officially 11:01. I am going to automatically mute everybody and I'm going to go over some of the norms of the webinar. And then at that point, I'll kind of explain how you can come off of mute when it's time to share and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Can I get some thumbs up if you can see my screen? Just want to make sure before I jump straight in. Wonderful. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up. Thank you so much. Hello and good morning, future idea families. I could not be more excited to welcome you to our team and family today, our Panther pride, as they say in Pantherland. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is a day of a lot of celebration and also just an opportunity for you to get many of the questions that you probably have venturing into middle school, venturing into a new school for many of you today. So let's go ahead and get started. Before I introduce myself and the team, I want to start off with just a webinar intro. As we usually would do this event in person in a big cafeteria and welcome you all in person. However, given the context, we are doing this virtually, so I want to make sure that I explain some of the ways that we can make today run really smoothly. Please have your camera on. It helps us get to know you and see your reactions to things so that then we can make sure that we're reading the room and responding accordingly. Make sure you have yourself on mute if you're not talking to the group. You can use the chat box or unmute yourself to ask questions. We will have one of our staff members, Ms. Hardaway, monitoring the chat box throughout. So if you have questions, feel free to either put those in the chat box or you can just come off of mute and say, hey, I have a quick question, and ask your question orally. Either way works. And then last but not least, please do interact with us. We have a really small group here. We've tried to keep these sessions to about 10 families each so that then we can get to know you guys really well. So please interact with us, whether you feel more comfortable via the chat box or coming off of mute to have a conversation with us. Either way works, but please make sure that you take this opportunity to get to know us, and we absolutely will do our best to get to know you during this time as well. So with that, I will go ahead and go to the next slide here. And my name is Katie Kristen. I am the college preparatory principal. I majored in business and psychology from the University of Wisconsin and got my master's in education leadership from Columbia University. I am extremely passionate about education and about IDEA in general. I've been with IDEA for 7 years, going on 8 years next year, almost a decade. We're almost there. I've taught and led at 4 different IDEA campuses, and have been inspired at every single one by the commitment that all adults have to making sure that every single student that passes through an IDEA Public Schools doorway is on the path to college. Every single student. And I will tell you, I have been in other schools and I do not see that same vibe at every single school, right? It is a different place when every single adult believes in the power and potential of every single student. I got into education, as you can see, my bachelor's degree was not in education, it was in psychology and business. And I ended up finding my way into education a little bit later in my schooling through a study abroad experience I had in Brazil. I went to Brazil to do an internship where I was teaching about entrepreneurship and globalization to high school students. And it was there that I fell in love with the idea of when kids have that eureka moment. I will never forget the day that we started talking about globalization in one of our classes in Brazil. And one of the students had this eureka moment where they realized, oh my gosh, so they had this company idea and they wanted to go international with this photography business. And she said, well, I wonder if I could start selling my photos across the world. And you know, the funny thing is that back then she just had a flip phone camera, and you fast forward to today, she has fundraised money for a beautiful massive DSLR camera, and is actually successfully doing photography around Brazil to spread awareness and to raise money for different projects in Brazil. So she was able to harness, through the power of education and through the idea of this globalization and entrepreneurship, just a seed that we were able to plant as teachers and actually be able to make a massive impact across Brazil by fundraising money. Additionally, why idea? Why do I say it idea? Why have I stated idea for so long? I think specifically about one student named Samuel. Samuel came into IDEA and into my 7th grade reading classroom below level. I'll never forget the first time that I interacted with Samuel. It was the first day of school, and I had everybody open up their books from summer reading, and we were going to start reading part of the first chapter out loud just to refresh their memory. Samuel immediately put his head down on the desk. And I remember walking over to him and saying, Samuel, is everything okay? You doing okay? It's the first day of school. Just want to make sure you're all right. Samuel looked at me and said, ugh, miss, I can't read. Why would you even make me do this? I've never passed a STAR test in my life. Samuel came in 3 years below grade level in reading. And I have never met somebody that was so disheartened. And as we went throughout the school year, a massive team of teachers came together in order to help Samuel be able to reach grade level. I worked with him in tutoring and after school. My co-teacher worked with him one-on-one in a lot of classes. The special education teacher did some additional small group work with him. The administration would meet with him about his grades and his progress and inspire him. And of course, we were meeting with his parents throughout to give them the progress update so then they could see how he was growing. And I will never forget the moment at the end of the year when I was able to pull him into the hallway to tell him his STAR scores. I said, Samuel, I have some news for you. Your STAR scores came in. Samuel, you passed. And Samuel immediately broke down in tears. Prior to that moment, Samuel did not realize that he had the ability to be able to grow and reach his potential. He had no idea what his potential was, but myself and the other teachers at the school, the administrators at that school, and his mother knew his potential, and we together were able to work with him to get him onto grade level by the end of his 7th grade year. That's just one story of many stories I can tell about different students at IDEA and the impact that when all adults in a school building care deeply about every student, and when all adults in the school building believe in the potential of every student, what can be possible. So thank you for listening while I share my story about what brought me to IDEA and what keeps me here. I would like to move forward now, and I can share with you. I would like to introduce to you our Assistant Principal of Operations, Will Hardaway. I believe many of you have already met Will through different registration meetings and different calls. If you haven't, you will soon. Will is our Assistant Principal of Operations. He does a lot behind the scenes in the school, and you will eventually meet him in the pickup line and drop-off line most mornings. Will went to Trinity University and majored in a Bachelor of Arts. He also went to Emory University, where he got his Master's of Business Administration. Will is not only involved in operations, but he also has taught pre-K through 8th grade. He's been working in education for several years, including 5 years at Achievement First in New York City. He came to us last year as our Assistant Principal of Operations, and he is a local native of Austin, Texas. I would also like to give our academic counselor for IDEA Parmer Park College Prep, Natalie Hardaway, the opportunity to introduce herself quickly right now as well.
Hi, families. Welcome. It's so nice to virtually meet you guys. I'm Natalie Hardaway. I am Will Hardaway's wife, and I'm the academic counselor at Parmer Park. I taught for 8 years in Brooklyn with Achievement First, and this is my first year as the academic counselor at IDEA Parmer Park. So I'm really excited to meet everyone. I've spoken to you guys, some of you already, and I just love working with the Panther families. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Natalie. Natalie does a lot of work on our culture and our behavior at school, so you will definitely be hearing from her both with praise and celebration, and also to partner with you throughout this school year as well. So thank you so much, Natalie. Many of you have already gotten the opportunity to introduce yourself in the chat box. If you have not already, I'm going to give it 1 minute right now for you guys to go ahead and type in your name and your student's name and grade into the chat box. Go ahead and introduce yourself so we can get to know who's on the line. Lovely. Thank you so much for typing in there. Awesome. Well, we will get some more opportunities throughout today's presentation to get to know one another, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to introduce yourself. Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump in. So, IDEA Public Schools goals. We are a very goal-oriented organization because we believe that it is really important that we not only say that we're an excellent school, but that we prove it to our parents, to our communities, and to our students by achieving ambitious goals. Our first goal is to be an A-rated district. There are very few districts in Texas, and especially very few in Austin, that are rated an A-rated district. Our goal at IDEA Parmer Park is to be an A-rated school. We were a founding school this school year, and with the COVID-19 crisis, we did not take the STAR test, so we will not have an accountability rating this year. However, based on our benchmarks and our progress, we were on track to be an A or B rated school, which puts us in one of the top schools in Austin. Another goal for IDEA Public Schools is that 90% of our pre-K through second grade scholars end the year on or above grade level in the core subjects. This is because we want to make sure that college preparation starts in elementary school. We believe that to be true, and we hope that all IDEA scholars that come to us in kindergarten stay with us and graduate and go on to college with us in 12th grade. Though senior year may seem like it's a far time off, one of our other goals is 30% of seniors are named AP scholars. AP classes are those advanced placement college level classes. And in 6th grade, we start with our pre-AP curriculum, which means that every single student enters into a pre-AP curriculum to be able to get them on track to be able to take their first AP class in 9th grade. Another goal is the average ACT score of 21. Again, preparation for that starts in middle school. ACT is the college entrance test, and a 21 is that entry level threshold score to be able to gain access to a lot of scholarship money for college and also entrance to college. And then last but certainly not least, and you will see that all of the goals previously named lead up to this, is 100% college matriculation. Our goal, and something we have delivered on as a promise to all families for the last 7 years, is that 100% of seniors graduate and matriculate to the college of their choice. Alrighty, moving forward to student expectations. For some of you, you have had experience in charter schools in the past, but IDEA is very unique in our student expectations. We're one of the only schools that gets that 100% going to college, and some of those expectations are what allow us to be able to help reach that goal. So our first is our IDEA Parmer Park student expectations for our school. You can see there's some pictures throughout here. Yes, this is our school. I wish we could be in this gym right now with you guys, but this is our school. This is our school-wide pep rally that we did earlier this year. And some of our student expectations at IDEA Parmer Park, you will see, are not just basic rules. We do have base expectations, but our goal for all students and the expectation is that students rise above. Our Panthers are persistent. They work through challenges. They will be entering into a curriculum that's much more challenging than what they've probably been exposed to. We are looking for Panthers that are persistent even when things get hard. Our Panthers are respectful to each other, to adults, to the school building, and also, very importantly, they are respectful to themselves. Our Panthers are inclusive. We have Panthers coming from a variety of backgrounds in our school, and our Panthers embrace that diversity and work to build connection across lines of difference. Additionally, our Panthers are inclusive in that we want our Panthers to be kind to one another as peers. We want our Panthers to build connections with their peers that are positive and inclusive. Our Panthers are dependable. When they are given a homework assignment, they do it. When they are asked to help out a friend, they do it. Our Panthers are dependable. And last but not least, our Panthers embody excellence. In Pantherland, we focus on that excellence and believe in the power of every single student. And we believe that when we believe in that our Panthers will too. Uniforms. Our Panther uniforms. First of all, students need to wear an IDEA polo. Our 6th graders will wear red polos this year, and our 7th graders will be wearing orange polos. So red for 6th grade, orange for 7th grade. These are IDEA branded polos, and they are available for purchase at Today's Style, which I believe is not open right now, but they will be opening during the summer for the opportunity to purchase uniforms. We'll be sending a lot more information out about those polos and where to purchase. Additionally, along with that polo comes a khaki or black pants, skirts, shorts, or skirt, khaki or black. Anything that is, any of those things will work. We will not allow leggings, but black pants, skirts, shorts, skirts, all good to go. White or black socks, a black belt, and all black shoes. We will call you if your child arrives to school out of uniform. Our uniform is a really big thing in our school for a couple of reasons. One is that it puts all students on the same level playing field. When students are on the same playing field for uniforms, that means that the focus is on academics and not on, oh, what brand of shoes do you have? Oh, your shirt's so cool. That also means that, you know, the money that you guys are making by working hard at your jobs can be spent on things other than just fashion choices. Having a couple of fashion choices for the weekends is nice, but you do not need to then worry about getting all of the cool things for every single day of school. Having a uniform makes sure that all students come to school looking the same, so then they can focus in on what's most important, which is the learning. Alrighty, next. Homework. We will have homework every single night at IDEA Parmer Park. That's because practice makes perfect. Our scholars have homework every single night because we believe that when students get the opportunity to practice and get feedback over time, that's when they get to mastery on the new concepts that they're learning. Students will all have a planner. They will have a planner. They will be given a planner on the first day of school where they can write down all of the homework that they have. And they, again, will have that homework every night. finally, within homework, reading is foundational. In addition to their daily homework for their classes, scholars will be expected to read 30 minutes every night. And when I say every night, I really do mean it. What we see is that our students who are the most successful are those who have been reading. The only way to actually be able to increase your reading level and be able to access higher and higher level texts fluently is by reading a lot. So we do expect that students read for 30 minutes every night. We have a big AR zone full of books, and we are very passionate readers at Idea Parmer Park. I know I myself read a lot of the kids' books, just so that I can talk to them about it. I know Ms. Hardaway has a whole library of books in her office as well that she loves sharing out to kids. So we believe that a passion for reading is the only way that students will read. We build that passion and we hold students to that expectation to read 30 minutes every night. Awesome. Attendance. Attendance is one of the most important things at Idea Parmer Park. Scholars are attended to be at school on time every single day at 7:30 a.m. That's when we start breakfast. That's when we have homeroom to be able to get students ready for the day. We will be conducting personal calls for each child who does not show up to school, because we really want to make sure that, one, our students are safe and that everything's okay. We want to check in on you. But then two, that we also support you in making sure that students come to school that day, and if something's going on, that we can help support you and your family. Appointments should be made after school whenever possible. That will help make sure that students don't miss school at all. Again, if they're there in the morning but they miss the afternoon for appointments, then they're missing out on really valuable instruction. So again, attendance is super, super important, and you will hear from us to make sure that your child is in school every day. Awesome. Behavior expectations. Scholars are expected to respect themselves, others, and the learning environment. We talked a little bit about this in the initial student expectations. Respect is huge at Idea Parmer Park. We believe that respect is one of the things that breeds safety, both physical safety and emotional safety. Students learn best when they feel safe and when they feel respected in the learning environment. Additionally, scholars are expected to follow the student code of conduct. This will be sent out to you in a follow-up email, and we want to make sure that you are reading that code of conduct along with your scholar so you know exactly what is expected. Parents will be expected to partner with the school to address any behavioral concerns. We are going to work with you. We care about every single student, and we do expect that you partner with us in order to make sure that all students have the support that they need to be able to be successful and thrive in our school. Awesome. I have 2 questions for you guys as a little bit of a pause here. Please either come off of mute and share your answer to these questions, or you can type your answer in the chat box. Again, this is that interaction we're talking about. I would love to hear, what are you currently reading with your child, and or what is your child's favorite book? If you'd like to come off of mute, feel free to press the microphone button and share. Otherwise, please type your answer to that question in the chat box.
How you doing, Miss Christian? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for coming off of mute.
Awesome. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for everything you have done for my family. I want to thank Will, Miss Natalie, for supporting us, especially in the secret sessions we came to the idea of family. So, on behalf of Jami, my daughter, and Jailet is super excited to start also. We just want to thank you so much for everything you have done. And then going into the questions, we're reading a book that I really recommend to all the parents. It's called Atomic Habits, and it's a book where it kind of teaches us even the little things make huge differences, like especially with what we're going through in distance learning, how to use our current environment to use it a certain way, and we create little habits to activate our our goals and our like what we're trying to do. And the reason why we're doing reading this book is creating in a certain area, and we did it in the back of one of our stores, is where once they go there, they know that it's learning time. They log into their computer, and then we learn whenever we're done, I take them out of that environment into like the living room or the kitchen, and I'm seeing just it's so good seeing that they're not overwhelmed, or like there's not pressure on my kiddos, because we're and then reading this book helps us understand the systems we put in place. So I highly recommend that book. And so far, to the second question, I think they're loving it, and I think it's going to be one of their favorite books to read. And it's called Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. Wow, that sounds like a really interesting book. And I love that idea, especially during distance learning, of having that space in the home for work and the space in the home for play. That sounds like a really, really strong idea. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Is anybody else reading a good book with their kids, or know what their child's favorite book is?
We have a bunch of readers in the chat box. We have Sophie is currently reading the Harry Potter series, and so Madeline and Miss Garcia are now going to be best friends and geek out over Harry Potter because they're definite Harry Potter fans. Sharon is reading The Mermaid Tales. We have Sophie. Oh no, I just said Sophie. We have The Giver, Holes, Scary Stories. We have a bunch of readers in the room right now.
Amazing. Wow. Those are all such good books. The Giver was one of my favorite books when I was growing up. So definitely something that's very thought-provoking for sure. Well, thank you guys for all spending the time to put some answers in the chat box and to share out loud with the group. Those are all great books. I encourage you, especially over the summer, to keep reading. Keep reading. Please, please keep reading. And if you need good books, please email me. You will have my email address available to you after this presentation. So please, if you need a good book recommendation, reach out. I will hook you up with some good books. Just let me know. Alrighty. Moving forward to our academic model. What does learning look like at Idea Parmer Park? Foundationally, the most important thing is that the goal is the same for every student at Idea Parmer Park. The goal is college for all students. The goal is the same. The path may be different. We know that some students are coming in above level and need to be continued to be challenged to go higher and higher. We know that some students are coming in below level. That is okay. We know that students will be coming in at different places. We embrace that and we love that. We have a lot of programs in place to support students that might be struggling readers or struggling with math. We have a lot of programs in place to support both those coming in above and below grade level. But again, the path may be different, but the goal is the same: college for all. So as I kind of spoke to a little bit earlier, we teach all the way from even pre-K in some of our schools in the Valley, but for us, it's kindergarten. From kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, we teach for success to and through college. Now, what that means is that even our kindergarten curriculum looks very different than a lot of traditional kindergarten curriculums. Our 6th grade curriculum, whether you're coming in above or below grade level, you are in a pre-AP class that will challenge you to be able to make sure that you make the growth that you need in order to make it to college, get that college diploma, and be prepared for success after. And just to make sure you guys know, as we grow, right now in our college prep, we only have 6th grade and 7th grade. But as we continue to grow, we will be adding grades every single year so that then you're able to stay with us all the way through 12th grade. Okay, just want to make sure that that's clear, because I do get questions about that quite frequently. Alrighty, so first we will talk about testing and placement. All 6th grade scholars will be tested in reading and math. These tests are just to make sure that every student gets just right instruction, exactly on their level. Again, all of our core classes will be at that pre-AP level, but we need to know how to support students that are potentially behind, or how to support students that are above grade level, to make sure that everyone is challenged. These tests, I want to be very clear, these are not entrance tests. You already have a spotted idea. We want you as a part of our team and family. You are here today, which means you are officially a Panther. Okay, these tests are just to help make sure that we can support your child. They are not to determine who gets into Idea Parmer Park. Now, our instructional model in college prep. In middle school, the big focus is building strong foundations in critical thinking, reading, and math. We do have subjects across English language arts, math, science, social studies. We have iLearning classes at every student's level, AR, Hotspot, PE. AR is the individualized reading class where students have some time to read. Hotspot is their opportunity to practice math at their level. And then PE is gym. We believe that a healthy living is really important. We actually just started partnering with the Black Vegan Company in Austin. They're providing free produce every Monday from 7 until 10 a.m. on campus alongside our meal distribution. So again, PE is really important. That healthy living is very important. But again, in middle school, the big focus is building strong foundations. That's why that reading at home every night for 30 minutes matters. And all of that pre-AP curriculum will make sure that students are prepared after 570 school days from their first day in 6th grade for their first AP class, their first college level class in 9th grade. So middle school is all about building those foundations. High school, it seems far away, but again, it's only 570 days away for those who are going into 6th grade, a little bit sooner for those who are already going into 7th. But high school is AP for all students at IDEA. 100% of IDEA students will take up to, and potentially even more than, 11 AP classes before high school graduation. What we have seen is this sets our IDEA scholars apart from their peers once they get to college. Many students will be taking their first college level class when they get to college, and they're doing it all alone. Not IDEA scholars. Our IDEA students have taken 11 college classes with the support and the guidance of a teacher that's there with them every single day helping them out. So we are AP for all because we believe, again, that every single student is capable of greatness, is capable of attaining that college diploma. So that is why we have that AP for all curriculum. Now, our instructional model, again, talking a little bit more about our interventions. Our goal is that in middle school, we get to having 100% of our students on grade level in reading and math. This is really important because, as I said, in middle school, we are building those foundations so that then students are able to engage fully in those AP level classes once they get to high school. This takes place during electives, during those iLearning classes. So students who are receiving that additional intervention time, they do not miss class time. So if you find out that your student will be receiving intervention supports, please do not worry. They will be in that pre-AP class alongside their peers. They will just additionally, in addition to that, have their intervention class that will support them in their learning. These are fluid groups, and what that means is that students will enter and or exit the program at different times throughout the year. There are times where students pass from one intervention group to the next one and they have to change groups. What this means is that students might change classes at times and things like that. But the reason behind it, the rationale, is that we want students to get intervention that's at their level. We want to make sure that every student is supported at their level at Idea Parmer Park. For those who are reading above level or doing math above level, they won't be taken out for intervention, but they will be provided additional differentiated instruction in class if they are not being challenged by the curriculum in the classroom. However, we find that the vast majority of our students at IDEA are very challenged by the curriculum in class. Alrighty, so I just said a lot of things. So I would love to hear, either if you'd like to come off of mute or put your answer in the chat box, what excites you the most about our academic model at IDEA Parmer Park? And if you have any questions, I would love to hear any questions about the academic model as well. I'll go ahead and put 1 minute for any answers to those questions. And if you'd like to come off of mute, now's your time.
Miss Kristen, we have some comments in the chat box from one parent. The most exciting part about the academic model is the college prep aspect. And then another family said, knowing that my daughter will have additional help with whatever she is struggling with, and she'll be able to surpass those struggles and prepare for college, is something that excites Madeline as a parent.
Wonderful. We're very excited about that too. That college preparation is what we do best, and filling gaps is a really big part of that. We want to make sure that all students have the support they need to be successful. Wonderful. Alrighty, our families. We talk a lot about the IDEA team and family. And you probably are wondering, what does that mean? What does it mean to be an IDEA family? You can see in this picture here, this is a picture at our college signing day. We have a college signing day event every year. This year it'll be virtual, but oftentimes it'll be in person. It is a huge event where students reveal to their families and to all of the students at IDEA what they have chosen as their college of choice. So the road to this moment of college matriculation starts now, and let's talk a little bit about what that partnership looks like. First is a commitment to excellence. Let's look at what this looks like. The commitment to excellence goes around our 6 core values of IDEA Public Schools. 1 is that we give 100% every day. 2, we build team and family, meaning that we really care about each other, and we care about building that team and that family within our school and partnering together in that. We do whatever it takes to make sure that students end on grade level. And this is a commitment that we make, that students make, and that parents make. Parents must give that 100% every day and do whatever it takes to support their child, just like we do on our as the school. We don't just get students to college on our own. We know that you are some of the most committed parents in all of Austin, because you've chosen IDEA as a school. And so that commitment to excellence and achievement is something that we do not take lightly. We sweat the small stuff, paying attention to that, reading 30 minutes every night, getting those planners written in, completing that homework. We don't make excuses. We support students that are behind. We support families that are in need, but we make sure that nothing gets in the way of students being on that track to college. And finally, we close the achievement gap, meaning that any students that are coming in with gaps, we make sure that we close those to make sure that every single IDEA Parmer Park Panther is on that road to college. So let's dig in. What does 100% every day mean? It means that our IDEA parents ensure that their child is at school on time every day. They know that when they miss school, they miss instruction, and our IDEA parents schedule appointments after school. We build team and family. Our idea parents support their child in school. They encourage them to put forth the best effort in all schoolwork. And they commit to checking homework and making sure it is completed daily. And every night, they make sure that their child reads. Here it says that they read with their child. That's a bonus. If you want to sit down and read alongside your child, kids love that, and it's a great way to get reluctant readers into reading. But at minimum, we want to make sure that students are reading every night. We do whatever it takes. Our idea parents proactively contact the teacher with any questions, concerns, or comments about their child's education. They share their concerns, their ideas, or feedback with the teacher, and if necessarily with me. I want to know your feedback. Part of doing whatever it takes means that together as a team, we are building this school, right? So we want to make sure that we are supporting you as best as we can. Sweating the small stuff. Our idea parents are as active as they can be in our children's school activities. That means that our parents check our Facebook page, and for us, we use Kickboard for regular updates. We have a lot of opportunities for students to be receiving information home. Every Friday, we send home a Pride packet with students' behavioral information and any updates. So that is something that parents read every week and send home. And then attending parent meetings and coming to school for report card pickup night and other events. That is what it means to sweat the small stuff at IDEA. Additionally, our IDEA parents make sure their child follows our uniform expectations and do not make excuses for not doing so. We make sure that every student is meeting those expectations. And again, reach out if you need support, but we want to, because we want to help you. But we do want to make sure that every student is in uniform. We make no excuses. Our IDEA parents help their child understand the student commitment and help their child adhere to the student commitment themselves. Additionally, we want to partner with you. If there are any infractions, you will hear from us. And part of that means that there might be a consequence from the school, and that we might ask for there to be a consequence on the home front to make sure that our IDEA scholars are learning so they can participate in a positive manner in the school environment. Closing the achievement gap. Our IDEA parents motivate their child to stay focused on their goals. They support their child's effort to attend a 4-year college or university. We want to make sure that every single parent knows what that means, and that you are doing your part in making sure that you are also motivating your child on that path. Alrighty, that was a lot. I would love to hear a couple people to either come off of mute or put your answer in the chat box to the following question. What excited you the most about being a Panther parent?
Miss Alonso, I would love for you to come off of mute and share your comment if you can.
Yeah, just being through the public school system has been really frustrating. I've had a child who was diagnosed with dyslexia in 1st grade, and all through, it took until like almost the end of 2nd grade to get him any assistance. So by then we'd already lost a couple of years, and it's just been an ongoing struggle. And I'm definitely one of those that's like, I'm emailing, I'm like, let me know if there's anything I can do. And I understand the struggles that teachers have, and also I've come from a family of teachers as well. So I'm always like, please be nice to your teachers, do your job, and you know, it's a team effort. So I am so thrilled to hear you guys in all of this. It warms my heart, because we're going into 7th grade now, and you know, the clock's ticking on the future, and you know, we're going to be working on coding and more reading all over the summer. But this is so exciting to me. I'm so excited.
Miss Alonso, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes.
We are so excited to meet your Panther and get to know them so we can help support them on that road to college. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren said, I love the team effort and support for the kids. And Madeline said, I love the involvement from the school. Report card pickup night is an amazing aspect. And we love report card pickup night. We usually pair it with a family game night, which is super fun. We have a big potluck, and it's a really fun event.
Yes, I can't wait for another report card pickup night. That was so much fun last time. Alrighty, thank you guys for sharing that. Alrighty, what you can expect from IDEA. Just like we have a lot of expectations for our students and for our parents, we also have a lot of expectations for ourselves. Consistent communication. Please expect and hold us to an expectation that we will consistently communicate with you. We use Remind, we use Kickboard, we have a planner for every student. We send home Panther Pride packets every Friday that are returned with a signature on Monday to make sure that you got them, because we know that middle schoolers sometimes like to not bring those home, so we will make sure that you will get those. They include grade updates, announcements, behavior reports, so you can keep in the loop with how your scholar is doing. And then finally, we have Facebook and an Instagram. Come follow us. You can follow us starting now at Idea Parmer Park. Our Facebook and our Instagram are both updated with updates from distance learning right now, so you can get an idea for what to expect as we go into next school year. You can expect consistent communication from us. If you reach out, we will respond to you within 24 hours. And I pride our staff in being exemplar communicators. We communicate with you because, again, we expect you to communicate with us, and we must respond when you communicate with us so that then we can help you help your child. Alrighty, accountability. We will follow through on school-wide expectations. We believe that a fair and safe learning environment is the only way for students to be able to thrive, as I said, both physically and emotionally, in order to fully engage in the learning environment. We do follow through. We hold ourselves and we hold our students accountable. We will contact you daily if your child is out of uniform, not at school, breaking school rules, specifically for more significant infractions, or failing to complete homework. We do that because, as I said, we will follow through on that expectation that we've set for ourselves around accountability. You will always know how your child is doing at school. We also will communicate with you when your child has done incredible things, and we will celebrate those wins with you. We have high expectations. We believe that all students can be successful, and we believe that all students will go to college. And because we operate with this mindset that we believe in all students, what that means is that we have really high expectations for every student. And as I alluded to earlier, we have a culture of joy. When our students get it right, we celebrate them. Our panther loves coming out of his cave. We love getting out the pom-poms and cheering. We love getting out the taco trucks and the coffee trucks and all the fun things that we can think of to celebrate your child. Okay. We have a very strong balance of high accountability, high expectations. And when kids get it right, when kids meet those expectations, we celebrate them because we believe in every kid, and we want to make sure that kids know that when they get it right, they are celebrated. Alrighty, so shifting gears a little bit here, I want to make sure you're really set up for the school year. So here's a few more logistical things. Health at Idea Parmer Park. Our health aide is Lamia, and her email address is here on the screen. We will be sending you a newsletter by Friday with more information and with this email and phone number. So if you don't have the time to jot it down right now, we'll be sending out this presentation as well as all of the information in it. But Lamia is our health aide, and if you have questions about health, you'll reach out to her. I'm going to go over a couple things in regards to health to make sure that you know exactly what is expected in the next few weeks. In the next few months as we get up to the school year. First is immunization requirements. Most of you already have your immunization record from your previous school. So if you request that and send it over to us, we'll be able to add that. Take a minute here to read over the immunization requirements for IDEA Parmer Park. These are the same as every other public school in Texas. Alrighty, I'm going to move forward to the next slide, but again, this will be available to you after the presentation. If you were good to go last year, you'll probably be good to go this year as well. Immunization expectations for new students. We expect that immunizations are up to date within 30 days of the first day of school. For returning students, some of you have returning students, making sure that all state required immunizations are updated by this first day of school if there's any boosters required. And any state exemptions, if you have a state exemption, this needs to be kept current every 2 years, and the legal document can be submitted to Lamia as well. Students without current immunization records will be excluded from attending school until they are received, so please make sure you get those immunizations records in to our school so we can get you set up for success. Medication consent. A lot of this is covered in the registration process, but I want to make sure I'm stamping this information here. All medications must be in their original prescription box or bottle. Consent must be completed by a doctor and signed by the parent or guardian. No medication will be administered if sent with the student. If a student has medication with them at school, we will take it and we will ask you to come to school to come pick it up. Please make sure that that you personally bring their medication to school. If they do have medication required to be taken at school, we'll have you complete the consent form, sign it, and we will keep it in our health aid office up in the front office. And medical action plans. If your child requires medical care while at school, any sort of medication or procedure, if that is the case for you or for your child, we will need an updated action plan from the doctor every 12 months, so every school year. Medication and prescription letter brought in its original container, and medication consent signed by the parent on file in the clinic. Again, this seems a little complicated, so if you have any questions about it, please feel free to reach out to Lamia. She is super kind and will be more than willing to walk you through this process if you have any questions as well. For our child nutrition program, some final announcements here on the logistics front. Super excited that for this coming school year, our child nutrition program will be included under the community eligibility provision, which means, long story short, that we will be able to provide breakfast, lunch, and supper to every student at no cost to our families. No meal applications will be required. So that is super exciting news. I know that for many of our families, we are going through challenging times. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that that's something really exciting that you can expect coming into this school year. Special diet forms, if there's any severe allergies or anything like that to food, must be acquired from the campus health aide or CNP managers. So Lamia would be able to give you that form, our health aide that I referenced on the previous slide, or Jory, as you can see her contact information is on here, or Marissa. Those two are our cafeteria managers. So you can get that form from either of them. The form must be signed by a physician in order for CNP to provide alternative meals. The special diet forms, again, those are really for more severe allergies. They're not for preferences. I wish we could accommodate all preferences, but really this is for severe allergies. Money for snacks or additional food items can be added at www.schoolcafe.com. Again, this presentation, as well as all of these links, will be sent out to you by the end of the week. So if you're not jotting this down fast enough, no worries, it's coming your way soon. Monthly menus will be on the IDEA website and also available as hard copies in the front office. And any questions or concern, you can feel free to reach out to Jory or Marissa, whose contact information is on the page. They would love to walk you through any questions that you may have. Additionally, just in case you're wondering, students will, if you prefer to pack a lunch and send your child with a packed lunch, they can bring a lunch box to school if you prefer that. But I just wanted to make sure you knew what was available on campus as well. Whew. We've been through a lot today, guys, and I'm so excited that you guys have stayed here with me and gotten through this. It's a lot of dense information, and I really appreciate all of the engagement up until now. You're probably wondering, what's my next step? If you have not already registered, please make sure that you get registered. If you have, yay, amazing. You are pretty much done with all the hard stuff. And we will see you this summer once we come back to school. But if you have not registered yet, I am going to ask some questions. I'm going to open the floor for any questions in a second here. And please stay on the line, because our ops specialist who is here with us will make sure that you get an appointment for a registration as well today, so then we can get you registered and ready for the school year. Next steps to Parmer Park registration. We're going to come right back to this slide. So if you have not registered, please stay on the line. We'll come back so we can get you set up with a registration appointment this week. But before we do that, I just want to open the floor for any questions. And I can't see the chat box because I have my presentation up, but Miss Hardaway is going to come off of mute and announce anything that's in the chat box. Otherwise, y'all can feel free to come off of mute and share any questions that you have with the group.
I have a question. How can we make sure that that my daughter is registered?
That is a really great question. If you stay on the line right after, right when we go into the registration component of the event, I can have our ops specialist check for you.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
We had a question about what does it look like for a child who does speech therapy?
Great question. We have speech therapists that we work with in our district that are able to provide hours for any student that has an IEP that requires speech therapy. If you have an IEP, please make sure that you send it over to our team. I will be including my email address in the newsletter that'll go out by Friday. So if your son or daughter has an IEP or any 504 documentation, please make sure that you send it my way so I can make sure that we are set up to provide services starting the first week of school.
And then I'll just read one more question. I'm not sure who it's from because it's showing as a guest. I answered it in the chat box, but just want to lift it for the group. We had a parent ask about an address change and who do you update. Ops will be updating any contact information or address changes. If you haven't registered yet, then that's okay, because we will take that information when we're registering you. If you are already registered and there is still a change to either your address or your contact information or emergency contact, any of those things, you can reach out to Ms. Kristen, you can reach out to myself, or you can reach out to Will Hardaway, who is our assistant principal of operations.
Great question. Yeah, that goes for phone numbers, anything like that. If you need to update any contact information, any one of our staff members will be able to help you with that.
And then, Ms. Kristen, we also had a question about buses.
Buses. Great question. Since we are a neighborhood school, we really work to recruit people that are in our neighborhood, we do not have buses. We do not provide transportation from the campus. We do, however, partner with the YMCA after school, and we have Panther Care in the mornings. So what we have seen is that for parents who struggle with transportation, we will work with you. We do not want transportation to get in the way of your child accessing an excellent education. So whether that means that you work early mornings, so you need to drop them off at Panther Care in the mornings, or whether you work a little later into the evenings and need Panther Care or YMCA care in the afternoons, those are things that we provide. And we will be sending a lot more information about that as we in our newsletter this Friday. So please stay tuned on that for all of that information. Great question. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to move us back to the registration component of the event, and I will have Veronique Munoz, who is our formerly it was our receptionist, but was recently promoted to I forget exactly, registrar, I believe is the title. I need to make sure that it's either SIS or registrar. Anyway, she's an incredible woman, and she is here with us to make sure that all of you are set up with registration appointments if you are not already registered. So I'm going to go back to this slide, and Veronique, if you want to take it over for our registration component.
Yes, thank you, Miss Kristen. And I'll go ahead and then just go from who we have here in the chat or the attendees. I would say Mr. Cassiano, I did check for Jailette and she's not registered yet. Can you tell me which day or time works better for you?
The tomorrow or today, I'm ready.
Okay, today we have between 1 and 2 or 2.
Ms. Munoz?
Yes.
Can I interrupt really quickly?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I am Will Hardaway. I'm the Assistant Principal of Operations. I'm sure I've spoken to a few of you directly. If not, I look forward to meeting you in person soon. I just want to respect everyone's time. I know we're a little bit over, so in the interest of that, this is just kind of an example of the registration appointments we're setting. So if you see a time and a date, you see we have just the rest of the week available, just type it into the chat box, whatever works for you, and we will have someone from our ops team reach out to you at that time. So just, for example, if you're free at 2 p.m. this afternoon, just go ahead and type 2 p.m. Monday 5/11 into the chat box and with your name next to it, and we will have someone reach out to you. Once you've done that, you are all set, and we look forward to meeting you in person as soon as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Hardaway.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that question in the chat box. You can complete this online by yourself. It's just kind of involved, and so we set these appointments as just a point of contact to be helpful. If you are all set and you've got all your documents, and by all means, take care of registration on your own. We just have this available if it's helpful for you.
What we found is that it takes a lot longer to complete it on your own. We have specialists that are really trained on the registration
Kristen,
process.
you're on mute.
My mic appears unmuted. Can you hear me? Or it might just be the sound. Can you hear me? Cool.
Someone just, please make sure to type your name next to the time. Some people have guest as their listed name, so it's going to be challenging for us to reach out to you. Robin, I have Wednesday. Lauren, Wednesday. Cassiano, I see 1 p.m. today. And we have someone that listed guest for tomorrow, 12 p.m. If you could just respond with your name, I'd appreciate it. Looking great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Can you hear me? Awesome. Once you have signed up for your registration slot, y'all, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We are here for you. We want to be in communication with you this summer. So if you have any questions or concerns at all as you go throughout this summer, we are here for you. this partnership starts now. So please welcome to the Panther Pride, to our Panther team and family at Idea Parmer Park. And thank you so much for engaging so thoughtfully in today's session. We can't wait to get you all registered and to see all your shining faces in classes shortly. So thank you so much. Have a great summer and have a great rest of your day. If you haven't already signed up for registration, we'll stay on the line for several more minutes here to make sure everyone has their questions answered and their appointments set. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Miss Monroe, have you already registered?
Yes, ma'am. I just completed my 4-year-old's registration, and I already did Woody's last week, so they should
Oh,
both
okay.
be registered.
Great. So do you need anything else from us?
No, I was actually looking for a way to exit out now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what? If I
So they-
exit out, it'll force everyone else out. So I can do that, no problem. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate
Thank you.
it. And don't
Bye.
hesitate to
Nice
reach
to
out
meet
with any
Woody.
questions. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you.